Good morning, ladies and children. Paris of Epirus here, and a little more late night ranked, which is all right. I mean, as some of you may know, I've been a bit distracted recently with Blood Bowl, but I am still doing Horus Heresy Legions. Um, still having a good laugh. I'm going to show you two mirror matches this evening. Vulkan and Exodus were both pretty fun games. So I've been trying out Inner Sanctum. I quite like it. You know, the fact your opponent draws a card is potentially frustrating, but like it's a pretty good response to things like supply lines. Because you use supply lines and they go, oh, "I'll pick that card." It's going to clearly be a vehicle, so it's like, I'll put that in the fucking bin. So yeah, I think I've got second turn here. He's got, obviously the board advantage right now. I haven't got much in my hand, so I'm gonna change that. I've got a pretty nice hand going. I'm gonna keep him nice and low. Obviously that's frustrating. So, yeah, I've got to get rid of Dewback first. Got to get rid of Dewback first. The other guy will deal damage to me, but like Vulkan can take a bit of damage, that's not a problem. That's frustrating. So, is that necessary? Well, I mean, if he's got a Doombringer in hand, that's quite important. I could have Scorched Earth there, but as he's stunned, I might as well wait and see what he plays. Like he's getting a big board out, that's fine. I think I close board here. Why do I do that first? Yeah. There we go. So he's got a low hand size. It's a clean board. I'm getting to that sort of energy levels where, like, I can obviously bring out the Desperate Defense. I can play a Doombringer in response to what he plays. That's obviously a little frustrating. He has to deal with it. Sure, his 6/5 will survive, but that's nie the problema. So he plays Ridicule, which is good. For him, obviously. That makes me sad. So what have I got planned? Well, sort of going ahead. It's not bad. So that's fine. Yeah. So I'm going to drop out Erdacruel. So I'm getting low on health, but I've reached the point now where I can start, bringing my weapons to bear, getting my board out. I'm going to go low, but I can control the board now. So I'm going to Desperate Defense. What have I got planned? Well, Masterclass are doing like an internal tournament called Master Duelists right now, which is, going to be a good laugh. Nice. And so I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be covering that. I've also got my UK qualifiers for the World Cup coming up, so that's coming up. I was a bit disappointed. So there are, I think, 9 competitors, 2 of which were, openly Scottish, and we're not going to open up sort of the option of not being Scottish, but basically saying that you are Scottish for the other players, because that would mean there's 7 UK players, or people who came as UK/England. And I think the thing that perhaps isn't so clear cut to players, from elsewhere, is that like family heritage is so much more complicated in the United Kingdom, because chances are, you might have close relatives who are from Scotland or Wales, and consider yourself English. That doesn't mean you can't claim to be Welsh or Scotch, because you might have a parent who's Scottish or Welsh. It just so happens that you were born in the UK, raised in England. Like, you could still, if you have a Scotch parent, you could still play for a Scotch team. So it's not like a criticism. Like, it's not the end of the world. Oh God. But that's fine. But I wonder, had the option been there, if one of the inverted commas English players was, I've got Scottish parents, I can play Scotland, and then that would have meant that 6 players would have been able to play instead of 3. It would have been 2 teams instead of 1. Would have broadened the World Cup a little bit, and it wouldn't be like perhaps quite so controversial as like other countries, because we've been the United Kingdom's been a thing since, I think, the Act of the Union with Scotland was 1707, and obviously England and Wales have been one country since about 1150. So yeah, and Scotland's had the same king since about the 17th century, I think it was. So it really isn't unheard of. Oops, really isn't unheard of for that sort of thing. But yeah, so we'll be covering it. Here's my second game that I thought I would share. This was really good fun. Like, just absolutely nuts.
We are Alfarius.
So I mean, Exodus is strong. This was a proper backwards and forwards game. So one trick I've sort of picked up from watching other people play Exodus is, in your first turn, if you've got a 1 NG draw your trap and then draw anyway, you're still going to play your trap. And if you've got nothing better to do turn 3, you can do both. But like, yeah, you start cycling your deck earlier. You have more cards in hand, so obviously you've got Serpent Squad and you want to hold it back. Let's say you're in an escape event, like, you could totally hold it back as well and play something different, but it gives you, I think, a bit more versatility. It also means that drawing 1 more card before you put the 2 in, which gives you strangely a bit more of a likelihood of them drawing those cards. But yeah, so I'm quite happy to slow play this. That's obviously a bit disappointing. That's very disappointing. That's going to get big, as you're going to see. That's the dream. But I'm Alpha Legion, so I'm going to try and stop you from hitting me with that for as long as I possibly can. What's that? A Lambda Thunderhawk? Maybe I can bait it out with a 5/6. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Obviously prevents me from just killing that. So not that I could anyway, but it prevents me from killing it with Exodus. He goes invisible. That's obviously disappointing.
Be the only one of us here.
Extra card. extra damage. Now, at this point, I'm sitting there going, okay, it's very unlikely I'm going to remove that, so I'm going to stop it from existing for as long as I possibly can. And I'm going to, you know, try and get oh god, I forgot what it's called. The 6 energy, stun it and deal its attack power. That's the instrument. I was really surprised, like knowing obviously what my deck is, what his own deck is, that he chose to do that particular thing there. But maybe he didn't want to draw more cards. I don't know. But yeah, I'm waiting for the instrument essentially. So I'm just going to stun the shit out of this guy. To the extent that I Melbatord my own guy just to give me more stuns, you know. Because if I get, there it is, if I can get the instrument off against that, that's just going to crush him, right? And I'm getting close to that stage where I can Autalon it, I can instrument it, I can harrowing his face, you know. He's just got so many things. That's fine. One less Lexi is not the end of the world. So obviously I do need to deal with that. It's a shame that I have to deal 4 damage to that thing, but I am trying to prevent him from blocking that out from instrumenting. That's obviously crazy. Because he's getting a nice big board now. Took some damage on his warlords. Yeah, so I have to do that. But that's opened up instrument, you know. I'm going to draw because that's going to obviously buff my harrowing. Next turn I can Autalon even if I can't instrument, like if he does something different. Yeah, so Irk. I mean, that thing's big. That thing's big. And I'm just trying to ride this out and survive it. Just ride it out. Stunned is a good time to get it down. Obviously he can kill Autalon score, but then he's still got this guy. I'm going to escape at that guy, so he's sort of maybe tempted to run that. I've got 6 cards in hand, so he can harrowing that. That's obviously frustrating. Now, that's obviously a very sensible thing to do because he's preventing me from instrumenting it. But at this point, I decide, fuck it, I'm going to instrument that guy. Stun it, kill his Autalon. I've got 4 energy. Do I heal? I heal, I think. Yeah. So the reason I'm healing here, right? 27 damage. If he spent 10 and 16, that's 26. I am 1 energy away from lethal. That's big. Like, him not being able to just Exodus me is huge because now he has to try and deal 11 damage to me without using that. And that's not easy, knowing what I know about the Exodus deck. So that's great for me because that makes this guy nice and fat. Yeah, he's going to stun me, which is a problem. Gets it nice and big, so he can hit me for 17. Now, this is where my traps come in. And look how many cards he has. And look what I've got in hand. And bless him, like he's one off. He is one off killing me. Like he's got, the 2 damage he
Hope
could
is a
have done
mistake.
wasn't enough. Just fucking ride it out. Just enough, just the tip. That was fucking intense. The guy's Iwas, he was a great opponent. That was a really fun fucking game to play. So, just a small set of mirrors from me this evening. Hopefully the next one will be, a set of games from either the Masterclass tournament or from the World Cup qualifiers for the UK. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Teddy Bears.